Alright, so my name's Cody. The topic I chose today is why is sports so popular. So have you ever been like in your bedroom, just sitting there, maybe relaxing or something, you hear your dad in there screaming over a sports game, and you just thought about like what possibly could be screaming about, like what's so exciting about it? Like what's all the hype about a big rivalry game? Well, I bet if you went in there and asked your dad what he was cheering so crazy about, he probably would have to sit down and actually think about it. Well, I'm getting a little bit more in depth of why sports are so popular among the United States and even other countries. So there's a couple things that sports are really popular for, and I think some of those would be the culture that it brings to us, the teaching aspects, and probably just the competitive nature. Like everyone falls in love with that, like being in the competitive spirit. Like that begins in the classroom, that begins in jobs, just anywhere. Everyone has a little bit of competitive side to them. So according to sociologist Zach Pestine, he says that one major reason people can't stop from buying the NFL Sunday ticket package is just the sense of belonging that it brings to people. He says that once you invest in a sports team, you become a part of that community. You have like a sense of belonging. Like he said earlier in his presentation, like all these groups that EKU has to offer, like why do you join those? Because you want to have like a sense of belonging. You want to fit in with people, and you just really want to like be there. So another reason that Zach says sports is so popular is because it's a cash cow. And if you really want to know like a real interesting fact, the University of Alabama last year, when it won its national title, grossed over $3 million. And you might think, why is that really important? Well, that's obvious to older people is sports betting, gambling. That matters a lot to the older side of things. And he said not only is it a cash cow, but it just provides like a sense of like conversation. Like it's a conversation starter. Like if you find another sports fan, you're gonna be able to sit there and talk for hours upon hours about anything really. So to begin things, I really want to talk about the culture of sports, like and how it provides like a sense of understanding to us. So it coincides with like community values and political issues, and it tries to define the sense of moral and ethical values among not just athletes, but the whole entirety of society. If you understand the culture, you understand how to work better with others. Like it's like your best friend. Like comparing that, you didn't always know your best friend. You had to develop a relationship and a friendship. You had to get to know the person. You start understanding what he does, like for his daily routine. Like, and once you understand that, you have a better sense of connection with him, and you start to feel more in depth with them. Like you understand them better. So that provides like that works with sports teams. Like and people become invested in it because it just teaches you how to like work with humans. Like it teaches you a lot of better things about yourself and more understanding. And another thing we see within the culture of sports is like the Americanization. And if you're wondering what Americanization of sports might just be, it's like the coding within us that makes us who we are. For example, he's not really liked, but Colin Kaepernick has an Americanization of sports because he used his platform to really stand for what he believed in and just what he was all about. And it really just puts aside like everything, and it gives us all a sense of nationalism and pride. And that might be one reason why everyone is so invested into the sports game. So secondly, I want to talk about how it teaches us. And if you're wondering like what my sports teaches, like if you've ever been a part of anything, it really teaches you the American values of cooperation, hard work, and respect. So historian Robert Halpern, he's a progressive reformer, he said that he thought athletics back in the day around the 1950s would really shape the youth for the new industrial society emerging within America, which is more focused around hard work and labor. And so you've always heard your coaches or even your parents telling you that you got to work harder. And there comes from the quote, hard work beats talent when the talent isn't working hard. And even outside of sports settings, like at your job, like that's how they want you to be. Like they want you to work harder than anyone else. And so it teaches us a lot of things, and even like the teaching aspect even can go back to the culture because it does teach you like ethical, moral values. Like you learn a lot about everyone. You learn about respect. You have to follow guidelines, you have to follow rules, and people become invested in people's stories and struggles of past. Like, you know, your favorite, like one of your favorite players could even be someone like Michael Jordan. We didn't grow up watching Michael Jordan, but we learned about his past. We learned about the struggles that he went through. You know, he got kicked out of his basketball team his sophomore year, and now he's, well, opinionated the greatest ever. I think LeBron is, but whatever. But anyways, yeah, people become invested into that. And they see their stories, they see the struggles, the hardships they go through, and they become just fans of them. They like their story, they like the way they came out from nothing, and that's just the connection that they provide with others. And lastly, the competitive nature of the sport is really what drives not only a lot of Americans, but even me. Like that's why I'm so attached to it. is because it shows us that we have to have motivation to achieve a goal. Like we have to desire something. And we discriminate determination and creativity throughout competitiveness. Like I've mentioned many times, like fighting for that job, fighting for the best seat in class, fighting for your grade, whatever. Like it's a lot about us and who we are and how we want to succeed in life. But it also teaches us a lot about disappointment. It teaches us how to cope with the sense of failure. You're not always going to get into the college you want. You're not always going to get the job you want. And sports teaches us that by learning that we can fail, but we have to genuinely appreciate the times that we do succeed. And when we do fail, we have to work harder just to get where we want to be. Like it teaches, like the competition behind sports really just shows us you have to dig deep and find resources to be able to just get by in life. So in conclusion, you can see that sports is just more than an endless hobby, and there's many reasons people draw connections to the sports world. And even if it's not related to sports, the connections I made, you can see like why any club you join, like any sorority, any type of fraternity, just any type of like social environment that you join, it's being like because of the culture, because of wanting to get to know someone, because you want to belong, or just because you're competitive and want to see how far you can go in life. It goes many ways beyond sports. But sports are just like a background for people to fall in love with, like after their time is like finished in high school or whatever. And it just provides a sense of like achievement and like I said, belonging. People want to be the best. People want to understand people. It helps us all. And if I were to sit down and ask you today why you were invested in sports, would you be able to tell me just because of one of these reasons, or would you say it's just because you love sports in general? I enjoy sports because of the competition that it brings. Like I always grew up. I played basketball in high school, and like it would piss me off if someone was better than me. So that's just the way that I like to think out of a way to like push myself and maybe push others around me to just want to work harder and achieve greater things. That's what I love about it.